This week on The Week Ahead, we look at how Ronald Reagan did the opposite of President Obama to create jobs. Plus, hear our take on the Jobs Act from President Obama. Welcome to The Week Ahead. I'm Frank McCaffrey. By 1984, President Ronald Reagan's first term was winding down. It was successful in economic recovery from the Carter years. Jobs were created, the economy was bustling, and patriotism was high. We at Americans for Limited Government went back to his 1984 Republican convention speech to see how he did things differently from President Barack Obama.
You know, we could say they spend like drunken sailors. But that would be unfair to drunken sailors. I was going to say it would be unfair because the sailors are spending their own money.
Ronald Reagan recognized the importance of being pro-business to build an economy and was not a fan of taxes. The, quote, balanced approach the Obama administration often speaks of means more taxes, of course, and Reagan would not have approved.
Our tax policies are and will remain pro-work, pro-growth, and pro-family. If we bring them down far enough, growth will continue strong, the underground economy will shrink, the world will beat a path to our door, and no one will be able to hold America back, and the future will be ours.
Reagan saw the importance of government taking itself out of everyday lives to build an economy.
We should also answer the central question of public service. Why are we here? What do we believe in? Well, for one thing, we're here to see that government continues to serve the people and not the other way around.
And the patriotism President Reagan developed in America was immeasurable. Reagan dug America out of an economic crisis by cutting taxes. His approval rating during this convention was around 55%, and it grew. And now we look at President Obama's latest attempt to create jobs, the American Jobs Act. For more on this, we're joined by ALG's Robert Romano. Robert, is this just another stimulus package that's destined for another failure?
This is more stimulus, and you think about it, under the Bush administration, we had a $150 billion stimulus. You had the saving of Fannie and Freddie, Lehman Brothers obviously failed, but AIG, Bear Stearns, and more bailouts. You're talking about over $1 trillion of monetary expansion by the Federal Reserve. And then Obama's $800 billion stimulus, plus the state bailouts that occurred in 2010.
Robert, as we mentioned, Reagan created jobs by limiting government. Now, it appears Obama's plan will not be creating masses of jobs.
One reason the Obama plan will not work to create more jobs is because it's just more deficit spending that's being thrown at ever larger interest payments as the national debt continues to spiral out of control. The government has reached its upper limit in terms of how much borrowing it can engage in to juice the economy. Whereas the problem in Reagan's time was high inflation and high unemployment, which could be cured by a strong dollar and lower taxes. Today, the problem is that the national debt has become so large that it becomes a hindrance on economic growth. And really, the only way out of that is to reduce spending and to begin to pay off the debt to more sustainable levels as compared to the economy. Right now, the economy only grows at 1%, but the debt grows by more than 10% every single year.
Thank you very much, Robert. By the way, at the time of that Reagan speech we showed you earlier, unemployment was plummeting. When he left office in 1989, it was just above 5%. And that's all the time we have for The Week Ahead. Please join us again next time. For more on these and other topics, visit netrightdaily.com.